smart. And that he could get what he wanted. But I showed him we didn't get married till October. When, after nearly 50 years of married life, she died and went to heaven, it was the saddest day he ever knew. She, he said, was built into my future, and I knew it instantly. And I had to have my future. And I just asked God to help me. Well, that's a kind of a human story out of a family history, but I kind of liked it, you know. If you want something, go after it. Well, the final thing is if you want to achieve goals in this life, you've got to get something called power. Now, there's power in you, and there's power in God, and if you bring the two together, you've got an undefeatable power. There's more potential in you and in me than it ever showed. But this is the way a human being proceeds successfully in life. He or she releases the forces that have been built in by the Creator. Don't lock them up. Unlock them. And you will be able to achieve your goals. Read the book. Do what it says. I personally believe that any one of us can reach our goal in life. And the question is, how is that done? Well, from time immemorial, it has been said in America that the way you do that is to work, and work. And that is still valid. But beyond that, I'd like to suggest a triune methodology, that is, 3 other methods by which any person may attain his or her goal. And the first one is deep desire and intensity of belief. That is number 1. Number 2, creative thoughtsmanship. Now, I didn't invent the word thoughtsmanship. It was invented by a man named Dr. Shackley, a great business leader in this country. Creative thoughtsmanship. And the third is faith all the way. So there are your 3 methods for achieving your goal in life. Now, I usually think up the titles of my own sermons myself, but now and then somebody suggests one to me. And it seems that I've had a number of people suggest this one: how to reach your goal in life. The suggestions came from several young men and young women in this congregation, young business executives, or people in the professions, or others who are trying to build a career. They said, why not some Sunday a talk on how to reach your goal? And the same suggestion was made to me by people outside of this congregation. So therefore I concluded that there was some interest in the subject. I do not consider myself in any sense an authority on how to reach a goal, but I have known many people who have achieved their goals in life, and I have merely studied their methodology, and I hand it over to you. Now, you may be over, let's say, 50, or over 60, or you could even be over 70, or it's conceivably possible that you're over 80 or even 90. And you might say, why do I want a sermon on how to reach a goal? I've reached all of mine and I'm too old now to do anything about it. Well, one of the saddest things that can ever happen to an individual is when there are no more goals in your life. So if the good Lord has thought fit to leave you here on this earth, He means for you to do something about your life. And if you've run out of goals, to get yourself a new one. Now, recently, my wife and I stayed in a beautiful hotel in Tokyo, Japan. This hotel opened its doors last June 1st, which is roughly about 8 months ago. It is built on a hill outside the center of Tokyo, looking down over this vast city. And we stayed there because the owner of it is a friend of ours. We've stayed with him in other of his hotels, in Kyoto and in Nara, Japan. He owns 4 hotels, and this latest one is one of the most beautiful hotels in which I personally have ever stayed. Now, when I considered the exchange rate between the dollar and the yen, I ordered one of the lowest priced rooms in this hotel. But when we arrived there, we were ushered into an elegant suite. And my wife, looking at the card they give you, saw that I'd only ordered a single room, and she began to argue with the bellboy. And she wasn't getting anywhere with it because he couldn't understand English. And I said to her, one thing you want to understand when traveling, and you order a single or a simple room, and you're ushered into a suite, is to take things as they come. And never look the gift horse in the face. So, the next day, I went down to see the owner of the hotel. Now, this owner is 80 years of age, and he has just built one of the finest hotels in the Far East, and he runs it himself. And I said to him, how many hotels do you have now? And he said, 4. I said, why did you build this one at your age? He said, dreams never run out at any age. This is my dream hotel. I've never had a hotel in Tokyo, our capital city, one of the greatest cities of the world, and as a poor boy long ago I dreamed that someday I'd have a hotel in Tokyo. So this is my dream. This is my goal. Well, I said, you've got it now, and you're 80. What are you going to do after this? He said, you know, I have a half-dozen dreams I'm considering, and I'll realize one of them. Because, said he, as long as you are on this earth, keep your goals going. Well, you know, I walked away from that man inspired.